Hello Aries, and welcome back to the channel. It has been a long time since we last spoken. I think it's more than a year, but we are back, and we will start doing this full time now. So when I open your deck here, I find the Two of Wands together with the Hierophant. So there is some limiting belief that you may hold. Two of Wands, it's a card that speaks about stagnation. You don't know which course of action to take, probably because here with the Hierophant, as you can see in the card, society has been humanity's invention to keep us safe, to give us all that we need to thrive, but in the same time it has been a bit limiting on people's natural expressions, natural instincts. So this person, as you can see here, they are tied between the Two of Wands, with one hand that is actually free. He's very able to unstuck himself from here, but it may be sort of a choice. Maybe you're a bit afraid to step outside of the norm. Maybe you have a lot of people around you that are telling you that you must follow the normal course of action, the normal course of life. Like you're not allowed to do this because it's a sin, because no one is doing it, because this is how we have been doing things for a lot of years. Okay. Oop. Hierophant. Maybe some of you are actually pondering the idea of getting married or not to another person. And here we have the Seven of Wands together with the Page of Wands. So again, action. I feel a lot of fire for you in the month of August. As you can see, the Seven of Wands, sevens are usually challenges, but here is a challenge of action. So this is like a call to arms, a call to action. You here are summoned to partake in some sort of conflict together with other people. And here we see this person with very confident stance, holding his wand. But as you can see here, there's a crow which is black. So I think you sort of have the feeling that something of a negative manner will happen during this conflict that's about to blow out. And here you have a Page of Wands. Now the Page of Wands, it's like a beginner in something, and usually this is like a beginner in when it comes to action. They're a bit naive. They trust a lot in maybe the universe, maybe in a deity, that whatever happens, I'm gonna be fine. Exactly like this person here, the Page of Wands is a very well-dressed person, very popular. They have some sort of charisma about them, very well-dressed maybe. But what I see here with these birds in both cards, it's like I feel your intuition in a way is is pointing that something bad will happen, but at the same time you have like the universe's guidance through your intuition that is letting you know that you are being taken care of. Yes. Okay, so you are ready to take action. Okay, we started out from stagnation, maybe fear of what the society, family, friends, people around would think. You have some limiting beliefs, but I think here you kind of man up to the situation and you're very confident in yourself to handle whatever may come. So you know that expression, come what may. Okay, so I'm gonna spread your cards here into 3 sections: past, present, and future. I don't know if I will maintain this format for future readings, but this is what we are gonna do today for the month of August. So here, top, this would be your future. Here would be your present moment, and here is the past. Okay, so let's see here. For the past, we have a Knight of Wands. Oh, okay, so this is a person who is very mature. This is a very fiery energy, compassionate person, with a lot of experience when it comes to action, taking action. This person is very, very, very capable. So in the past, you may have felt like this inside of you. Whilst looking back at your life, you've managed to handle different situation with a lot of experience. Okay, so let's see here. For the past, okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles here. When I look at it, I feel that somewhere in the past there was an idea that was in a very it was like this concept that if you take action on it, it would be able to bring you a lot of abundance. So this would be like an idea that you get. Maybe it has taken you by surprise, like it just struck you at a certain point, and it has been there in your mind. Now the Ace of Pentacles, it's like a seed. The seed can withhold no, it can be preserved for a lot of time until you put it to the ground and you give it the necessary elements in order for it to bloom. Now this is just, like I said, the seed. Now we will see if this seed has come into fruition or if you had stored it for later. Also in this card, in this deck, the animal that represents pentacles are squirrels, so you know that they gather a lot of acorns or seeds in a very energized way. I don't know how to say, but they run around all day for acorns. Okay, so let's see what happened with this seed that you discovered. Oh, Five of Wands, so conflict. Okay, maybe you had this idea in the past, okay, where you felt like I don't need to do what I'm doing at the moment. I can just start a new cycle. As you can see, the Ace of Pentacles, the pentacle here is round, so this alludes to the idea of a cycle. Maybe in the past you have been bored or annoyed or fed up with the way things are going, and here you have this idea that could come into fruition. This idea may relate to the way that you earn your money, the way you manifest abundance. It may relate to the habits that you have around the house, around your family. It's somehow, I see the Pentacles as being very close to home. Why? Because home is usually the place where we have the most abundance. It's a more traditional view, I guess. But every time something major in your life happens, you would usually go home and discuss together with the people that you may consider your family. Okay, so you share your abundance with them, and this is where you take all the elements that represent abundance. This is where you usually store them. So a squirrel would store its acorns in like a tree, in a small hole in a tree. For us as humans, we usually store our pentacles, our valuables at home with the people that represent our family. And if you don't have a family, this may relate to people that you have very close to your heart. So it's not per se the actual home, but the concept of home. So you may have taken this Ace of Pentacles, and maybe you have presented this to a lot of people. Now here comes the Five of Wands. So your idea, your pentacle here, your seed, is not very well received by others. Why? Because here is a full-blown conflict. Like, people are, maybe people who don't have any idea about what you want to create, because you see here some people are blindfolded. Okay, they don't actually see what they're hitting. So maybe even people who don't understand your concept or your idea, they cannot see your vision. They don't have the same vision as you do. Maybe they have put your seed to rest. Okay, so a lot of people having a lot of opinions. As you can see here, there is there's a honeybee. So here is honeycomb. Okay, that's the place where bees have their home. So it's directly related to your Ace of Pentacles here, is being beaten up like a piñata. Maybe people are tearing your idea, your concept to shreds. Okay, Five of Wands. Again, five is related to the Hierophant that we saw in the beginning. Okay, so I think this is the overall theme, that you may feel stuck because you are taking into consideration other people who are beating down your idea. These people are putting it down to rest, because they are taking all the juice out, all the value out of your idea. You may feel stuck, like in the Two of Wands that we saw in the beginning. You may feel stuck because if so many, this is a bad situation to apply the idea that if free people tell me that I should stop, maybe I should consider stopping. But in this case, there are too many voices, too many opinions around you. Maybe these people are, maybe they have bad intentions. Why? Because these people here in this card are beating the honeycomb up, maybe in order to get the honey inside, but they're doing it like it's a piñata. So while they're destroying your idea, while they're putting you down, maybe they afterwards they take something from your seed. They still take some sort of idea, and maybe they will think about it in the future. They see some sort of there is something to gain from destroying your idea. So if you would relate this to your place of work, maybe you have some idea to optimize something, to improve something, and it's like your colleagues, your upper management, or people of the sorts, they're trying to say like, this is stupid, this won't work, this is not applicable, but they take some sort of information from your seed and they will probably implement it later. Okay. Nine of Wands. Okay, so here in the past, all this conflict has made you a bit traumatized. It's like you need to fend for yourself. You don't feel safe around these people. Okay. So although we have the King of Wands here, this is you, the King, Aries, coming with a great idea that's in initial state. It only needs a few elements: nurture, care, like water and fertile soul to put it to. But here, meeting all this adversity, it makes you feel alone in your idea, in your actions overall. Nine of Wands, this usually represents a singles card. And you see this person here has the wand, but they are trying to create some sort of space where they can be safe, and they're covering their stomach area. That is where you usually feel guilt, anger, for example, hits the liver very hard at an energetic level, and here you're sort of protecting yourself from these people. You feel alone in your ideology, in your plan, in your wants and needs and desires. It's okay. You get even more experience from this. It's not ideal, but here with the King of Wands, I think you're very capable to protect yourself from from the naysayers. Okay, so let's see in the now, in the present. Three of Wands. Okay, we have a lot of wands here. A lot of action. A lot of action. So, again, here in the now, it's like maybe you haven't given up on your idea, but you start to take some sort of action. It's a free. What I know from the culture that I was brought up in, we have this saying that there's an area in this country where the initial tables that people would use were not four-legged but three-legged. And we have this saying where the three-legged table is the most stable table. Okay, so although it's not a pentacle, and here you have wands which allude to action, you're still building up something stable, and it's the first steps that you take. It's like you're starting to practice. It's like you are taking the first steps into manifesting this idea. And as you can see here, it's we have only one person here, so you're your own supporter, your own subscriber, your own how should I say this? You're somewhat very confident in yourself, although you have faced this adversity in the past, and you still believe. Yes, here we have the Empress. Yes, you're very you're very confident in your creational abilities. Okay, so you want to follow through. Even though you don't know what will come in the future, you're starting to lay the foundation in matters of action. So maybe you're setting up a new website, you're preparing a new product, you run these sort of small experiments when it comes to action. So for example, if you want to put out a new product, maybe you suggested this idea to your colleagues at work, to management, to maybe your family, and you see that these people are totally against you. They don't want to be part of it, although they may benefit from just hearing your idea. Here maybe you have taken this pentacle and started putting out the first prototype. So maybe you want to sew a dress, or you want to sell a book, or different types of products. Here with the Three of Wands, you are actually let's think about it, buying the materials, putting out a prototype. Maybe you are sending some samples to some random people, maybe to some friends that you trust, asking for feedback. If feedback, you know, this expression that you don't have negative or positive feedback, it's just feedback, but you do need it in order to get some sort of return on experience. And this is what this card is. We're starting to put out some elements and waiting for feedback. Okay, so this is in the present. Let's see. Oh, the Magician. Well, congratulations. This is a great card to get, Aries. Okay, one, the Magician. So you are the one. Okay, this really alludes to you having all the necessary elements. As you can see here in the card, the Magician has all the elements from the deck. He has the wand in his hand, the chalice, a pentacle, and a sword. He has all the necessary elements, and he can juggle with them as to bring into reality the inspiration that he has gotten from above. So you were struck in the past with this pentacle. You know that it's a great idea. You are very fond of it, and here you have all the necessary elements to start to create it. The power is in your hands. Okay, again, coming back to divine inspiration, here you can see that the magician is pointing with one hand to the sky and with one hand to the earth. So this is a hermetic principle. If you're not very familiar with these, you can find I think there's a free online PDF with the hermetic principles. So one of the principles is as above, so below. So what is in the macrocosm is also in the microcosm. So what's on the outside is also on the inside. And you bring these two worlds together, okay? You're very aware of the fact that in your core self, these people have hurt you in some way for putting down your idea, for putting down your, yes, beating up this beautiful concept here. And the power that you realize that you have here with the magician is that if you inside of you strongly believe in this idea and you put the energy into it and you work with all sorts of elements, you will reach your desired outcome. Also, one thing to notice here, here at the bottom of the card, you can see there is a snake, and this person also has the snake in his waist, around his waist. And this snake here is shedding his skin. It's like this experience from the past, it was necessary for you to be born again into this very capable person. Please take care with what concept you're putting out into the world, because the magician can be a very shady person. They can sweet talk you into, let's say, buying anything. They have all the necessary elements to create a product, but they can also create one that is like not a fake, like void of substance. So you can create absolutely whatever you want with this energy. Okay, the next one, Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. Okay, I will take into consideration now like the possibility of you manifesting this situation in a relationship. Maybe given your experience, you had an idea of how to manifest some sort of abundance together with your partner. Maybe you have an idea of how to handle certain situations in a committed love relationship, and here you have a lot of people maybe around you, like their family, your family, everyone is like against you. And if I think back to the Hierophant, that may also lead to close ones who are very set in their traditional ways. Okay, maybe you feel forced to marry someone or follow the traditional way in which things are done, but here you may have a new idea. Like, I understand that people by habit do this, but we can do this in another way, in our own unique way that is tailor-made for us too. Okay, and below the Five of Wands, here you have the Page of Cups. Now this is a very naive energy. This may relate to your significant other, or this may relate to a new person that you have found in your life. It's a very troublesome combination here, because the magician is a very capable person. They can transform any situation as to fit them. They can manipulate any type of situation for it to be in their advantage. And here we have like the most gullible person in in a tarot deck. This is a Page of Cups. They're very naive, they're young, they are overwhelmed by their emotions. So if you're trying to sell something, if the magician would try to sell something to a Page of Cups, probably the magician could get away with anything. If this relates to the situation that I've talked before about a love situation, I think you will be fruitful in winning this person's heart. Okay, you have all the necessary elements as to persuade this person into participating in your plan in the way you see it. Maybe your partner or the person you are thinking about, maybe they're not this naive, but when you come with this new ideology, with this new concept, maybe they are represented with this energy because they don't have so much experience in this type of interaction. They don't have a lot of knowledge about how to handle your new concept or a way of doing things. Let's hope this energy is not ill intended. And here you have the Three of Cups. In some situations, yes, this would be a third party relationship. It's in many ways that this could go. The Page of Cups, given the fact that they are so naive, won't be so affected by this extra one cup that is present here in the card. These are some people taking a dive into emotional waters. So it's some sort of like a baptism through emotions here. There's some sort of dance or ritual that is being done between three hearts. Let's hope that this pentacle over here, the idea of how to handle your relationship, your core connection between the two of you, let's hope that that has turned now into one of the cups here, and this actually relates to the magician and the Page of Cups and the connection between them. That would be ideal, because the magician manages to sway this Page of Cups into this beautiful dance here. If you want to know the negative side of these three cards, it may be that the magician, you or some other person, you need to see your particular situation. The magician here manages to fool this Page of Cups into this sway. And this Three of Cups, the dance here, the triangle of emotions, it's somehow in behind, you see, behind the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups also is looking into their cup, so they're not very well aware of this three party situation. They're naive and they're being fooled by the magician. Hopefully this is not you. If it is you, I don't feel that for the majority of Aries this will be you. I don't feel it like that. But in any case, this person cannot see what is being done behind their back. Here with the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is coming below the Nine of Wands here in the past. So one person may have been traumatized by what other people considered here about their situation, and maybe this Three of Cups is manifested because well, I can't change people's opinions of me, so might as well just indulge in this. Okay, so here with the Three of Wands, the base for this would be that if we are talking about a love relationship, it's like the first times that you work with this concept and you're manifesting your exercise, you're exercising your powers, your manifestation powers on this person. You're trying to convince this Page of Cups to come into this dance together with you, so you may in the future transform this Ace of Cups into reality. Okay, so in the future, Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, you're trying to juggle something. Either two people, two situations, two ideas maybe. Again, a card of stagnation, of instability. A card of repetition. Maybe you have been here before. And here we have the Page of Pentacles. A bit of inexperience here, of naivety. It's like you still have that pentacle from before, and it's like you're still holding on to it, not knowing what you would do. Here we have the Two of Pentacles, which means that while you're trying to pick between two options, maybe these two people here, maybe these two different entities that you're doing this dance with, you don't know which to pick, with whom to sow your seed with. So this may cause a lot of imbalance in your heart mostly, and overall through the day-to-day life. Try to take care when you're crossing streets, when you're doing the normal things, because I feel you're so focused on trying to pick something that you may run the risk of having an accident or something of the sorts. Okay, so let's move these cards. Okay, first card for the future. Oh, King of Swords. Okay, this is the king archetype. He for example, the King of Wands is a man of action. The King of Swords is a man of his word. He is a representative of justice. He is like a very serious judge. He can cut through all the BS and get down to the core of things. This person can also allude to a specialist in their field. Okay, so they're very clear about what needs to be done. They can analyze the situation. They have a lot of experience, as you can see here. This person has like white hair and a white beard. They have been through a lot of wars, and they pass good judgment. So for you here, it's like okay, we've started from a concept. We try to make, in the present moment, we try to persuade someone to join us in this concept, but now after some time we really need to see what the feedback is. What are we actually gaining from the situation? We need to give a verdict. Okay, so this is like a serious judge. We need to give a verdict for the situation. So it's somewhat very unemotional energy, but it's a necessary objective one in order to reach some sort of conclusion. Also, when you have people in your life maybe that are maybe trying to fool you, trying to drag you into dramatic situations. This is the archetype within yourself that cuts these people out. Okay, so it's kind of cold, this energy, but it's okay for the situation. We need some sort of clarity and judgment being passed down. Okay. Now, the Knight of Wands. So, when you start to manifest this archetype very clearly in your life with the people around you, I don't feel the King of Swords being the most emotional or caring or giving type of person. And if you manifest this power, you would make the other person that you're involved with, that you have this situationship with, you make them enter action. Okay, because here you see the magician, he is trying to work up something, and this person is just lying here, sitting here. But when you reach a conclusion and you end your course of action, like the King of Swords here is sitting on his throne with the experience, with the stories of the battle that has taken place in the past. When you sit here in order to pass judgment, you would see the other person coming into action. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is traveling from the east to the west. Okay, and they're coming in with the full speed in order to give maybe a message here to the King of Swords. He has a mission, because knights are usually on a mission given by a king, but although they are traveling on a bird here, they have the wand, which talks about messages and action. They're also on this mission. Take a bit of warning about this person or this energy, because they are fully dressed in armor. Maybe they have understood what this situation here was. If before you or this person, depending on your situation, if before you appeared as a Page of Cups with your heart on your sleeve, because the Page of Cups is keeping their heart or their cup in their hand, here you have a person that has like a weapon, and they're fully dressed in armor. So fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Yeah. Okay, so we're coming back to one person is coming in full speed to this person in order to discuss about what has been, ask for maybe ask for this person's opinion, like what is the final verdict. So afterwards maybe they would fly off in the opposite direction after they have the final truth about the situation. And the last one is the Knight of Pentacles. So this King of Swords here, the person who has the expertise on the situation, the most knowledge is being sought after by the Knight of Wands and now the Knight of Pentacles. Now the Knight of Wands is the one that probably will reach this King of Swords first, because they're traveling very fast. You may identify this person by their fiery being, their action-oriented personality. And afterwards you have another knight here, the Knight of Pentacles, which moves very slow. As you can see, they are placed here on a squirrel. So the squirrel is they're very agitated, they seem very unstable.